we are dead last in the nation in state aid to education, but we are leading the nation in youth incarceration and youth suicide rates. And as a member of the Northern Hills Business Economic Development Group, our Business Leaders Group on Early Childhood Care and Development, I have gone through these numbers ad nauseum, and we absolutely need to educate our children. Adequate is not enough. 100 school districts are suing our state because they do not believe they're being adequately funded. We do have the money. The Education Enhancement Trust Fund was developed with lawsuit tobacco money about 5 years or so ago. There is $428 million in that account, $100 million in interest. I'm not advocating spending all that interest right now. I'm not advocating being irresponsible with that money or touching the principal. What I am advocating is that we start thinking about spending some more of that interest on educating our children. When the legislature decided to spend 4% of the interest on that fund on education, they hence called it the Education Enhancement Trust Fund, which is a great name, except what you don't know is that they quit taking the same amount of money out of the general fund. It was a trade-off. It wasn't an enhancement. And I would like to see that change. The second, alternative energy. South Dakota, according to Department of Energy, is 5th in the nation for wind potential. That would be 566,000 megawatts of wind energy. It would power half the homes in America. Right now we're generating 44 megawatts. And it may be a little bit more now. There's a new wind tower that just opened, or wind farm, excuse me. But we could be rivaling Wyoming's boom for energy. Not digging fossil fuels out of the ground, but harnessing the wind. We need transmission lines, we need generating lines, we need tax incentives, we need policies that will encourage alternative energy development. And that's another one of my priorities. The third priority is open government. As I mentioned before, we're last in the nation according to the Supreme Court. I think we need to change the presumption of law in South Dakota so that we are, like the rest of the nation in the federal government, able as taxpayers to go in and see where our government is spending our money. And lastly, the measurement of our prosperity in Lawrence County must go beyond land values and the balance in faith. It must include the beauty of the land, the strength of our families, the intelligence of our public debate, and the integrity of our elected officials. We need to measure our compassion, our wisdom, and our devotion to our family and our neighbors. Our prosperity is measured by these things, the things which make life worthwhile. And that's the reason that I'm running. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming today and for all your great questions. I think this is what being in the legislature hopefully is all about. I hope that if I get elected, you guys are calling me all the time saying, hey, what about this, what about that? So thank you so much for your attendance and for all your great questions. It's very appreciated. Again, the reason I feel that I would be a good representative for Lawrence County is not because I have all the answers. I probably don't even have most of the answers. But what I do want to do is listen and work with everybody. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Libertarians, citizens, whoever. We're all in this together, and I think by putting all of our heads on an issue or a problem, we can come up with better solutions than me sitting up here purporting to have all the answers because I'm this or that. I want to go to Pierre and focus on, again, those everyday issues that matter. We didn't get to talk about education that much, so I'll talk about it a little bit here. We do have a funding crisis in education in this state. We're also sitting on, hopefully still, over $430 million in the Education Enhancement Fund. We talked about priorities. We need to make education funding, when I'm talking K-12 education, a priority here in South Dakota, and we can do that without raising taxes. Since 1998, the percentage of the state general fund that's gone to K-12 education has actually decreased. If we would have kept the funding percentage, the proportions the same of the state general fund to education the same, we'd have over $700 additional dollars per student in the state funding formula. As a member of a school district, I can tell you over $700 a student is huge. If we adequately utilize the Education Enhancement Trust Fund, if we make education a priority at the state level, we can adequately fund education, give our kids better opportunities, pay our teachers more so we can recruit and retain high-quality educators without placing additional burdens on the taxpayer. Alternative energy. South Dakota, again, tremendous resources. We've been left behind by other states because we haven't had that as a priority in the state legislature. I respect all of the people on this panel, but we've had one group that's been in power for the last 20, 30 years in Pierre, and we've missed out on some things. We've gotten too comfortable. We need to get down there and all work together and think outside the box and come up with how can we develop our wind power resources, how can we develop cellulosic ethanol, which has a chance to provide great jobs here in Lawrence County, put people to work in the woods, cutting down trees, turn them into ethanol right here in Spearfish, drive it in the cars here in Lawrence County. Look at all the money and jobs we just put right here into Lawrence County, and we didn't send 1 cent to my friend Hugo down in Venezuela. I mean, I think those are the potential things we have here at the state, and those are the things we need to be focused on. Open government. We've gone back and forth on that up here today. I'm going to keep harping on it. I think it's a big issue because who has the best ideas on how to spend our tax dollars? The people that give us the tax dollars, so they need to know where it's going. I'm asking you to vote for November 4th because I think that I can do a good job by listening to the people, staying focused on those everyday issues that matter in our short legislative session, and just working hard for all of you guys. Thank you again.